order. You call the roll?
Seltzer, Macklin,
Here.
Buchanan,
Here.
Jorns,
Yes.
French,
Yes.
and Gertson.
Welcome to the Planning Commission meeting. This is the second night this week that some of us have been here. But I'm hoping that this meeting will be a little shorter than our Tuesday meeting. I would entertain a motion of approval for the minutes from September 17th.
Madam Chairman, I move for approval of the minutes as submitted.
Is there a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes are approved. Under old business, we have case 2020-09. That was discussed on Tuesday night, and we've decided to hold that agenda item until our November meeting. So we'll move right on to new business. Give an explanation of our hearing process. To protect the rights of all parties involved and to create an opportunity for everyone to speak their opinion in an orderly fashion, the Reno County Planning Commission follows a specific fact-finding procedure in the handouts that are on your chairs. If the Planning Commission makes a recommendation after tonight's public hearing, the case will be presented to the County Commissioners in approximately 2 weeks. The staff will contact the applicant of the exact date. All other interested parties may contact the Planning Department or the County Commissioner's office. We will formally open the hearing regarding case number 2020-010, a request by Bobby and Denise Applehans to vacate the north 85 feet of a platted utility easement located between lots 3 and 11, block 1 of Cedar View Lodge replat subdivision. The address to the property is 25210 South Cedar View Drive. Have any planning commissioners had any outside context regarding this case?
No.
Have any of you had any conflict of interest in this case?
No.
Okay. The applicant will please step forward, state your name and address for the record, and tell us about your case.
That podium keeps getting further away, and I'm getting older, so you may have to just speak right up.
Bob Applehans,
Use your
25
preacher voice.
210 Cedar View Drive, and I'm wanting to vacate a portion of the easement between my two properties, so construct a building that went 3 foot onto the easement.
Okay. Any questions for the applicant?
3 foot on the existing easement. Is that correct?
On the utility easement that was between
As
it.
it is now, you need 3 feet of it.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
How long has that easement been in existence?
Since the 70s, since it was platted,
I assumed it was a long time ago.
the easement stops at my north property line. It doesn't go to anybody's.
Any other questions?
Who shares the easement? Who is it Public Works or Reno County, or who has it?
It's a public easement, so anybody could use it, but currently it's mainly just used for the sewer line.
There's no, go ahead.
Yeah,
I'll ask when it's time.
We'll get Mark up here. Okay, thank you. We'll have staff report.
So Mark Von Atchen, County Planner, so yes, this is a request to vacate that utility easement. Property is near the conditional use permit that we did here a few months ago for the RV storage unit down there in Cedar View Lodge replat, and so this is just a little bit to the north and west of where that property is, so you're right down there by the Cheney Lake area. And so to answer Mr. Macklin's question, yeah, this is a platted easement, so this subdivision was platted in the 1960s, so it's been in place ever since the plat was recorded. And as Mr. Applehans said, this easement kind of bisects his 2 lots that he owns, and it terminates at his lot, so it doesn't go any further. If you look at the copy of the plat that I gave you, you'll see that lots 1 and 2 in there, that easement does not go any further than his property right there. And so before this petition was put on the agenda, we visited with Mr. Applehans, and we also visited with the utility division here, because we believe that the only thing in that utility easement is our public sewer line that runs through there to serve those lots. And so, in visiting with the utility people, they were okay with vacating the majority of this easement, but not the entire easement, because if you look at the survey that was submitted, there is actually a manhole cover that is right down at the south end of his lots. And so we did not want to obviously vacate too much of that. The utility division requested that we leave the southern part of that easement open and available to be able to turn equipment around or to place, equipment in there. And so Mr. Alpine agreed to leave that portion of that easement in place, and so it's not going to affect the location of his building or anything. So that was the agreement, and that's the petition that is before you tonight. With a vacation, it's a little bit different than other cases that we hear. You as a board have to find three things in favor of the applicant. You need to find that proper notice was provided to the public. You need to find that the public will suffer no loss or inconvenience by such vacation, and that no private rights will be injured or endangered. So staff had sent letters to all the utilities that are in that area. And we also have comments from the utility division here at Public Works that state that they are okay with that vacation. No other utility companies responded to the notice. We also sent notice to the Hutchinson News and published that on September 16th, so that is well in advance of the requirement that we have to have. And so with that, staff is in favor of vacating that easement, and with that, I'll stand for any questions.
So if it's an over 2,000 square foot shed, then it'll come back for a permit, for a,
It would have to come back for the special exception, but it is not. It's not. It was under that.
the end of this case.
He could probably tell you, I believe in our previous conversation, it was not gonna be a 2,000 square foot shed or over, yeah.
Any other questions for staff? Okay.
Yep, thank you.
Is there anyone in the audience that wants to speak to this case? Anything the applicant wants to add?
Is there anything you want to add?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Any further questions before we end this portion of the hearing?
I have a question for Mr. Britton, actually. There is adequate space there to service the sanitary sewer line there, and there's no possibility of any other public utilities, power company or somebody wants to put in an overhead line or anything else happening there?
No, we don't see any problem with this.
Is this area is not served by public water?
No.
Any, no plans or no anticipation that it ever will be?
No.
Okay.
Any further? Anything else? Okay, that will close this hearing on this case. I'd entertain a motion for approval.
I move that case number 2020-10, the request by Bonner Denise Appleton requesting the north 85 feet of a 16-foot wide utility easement be vacated as described in this petition, and per the submitted legal description, finding that proper notice has been given. Public will suffer no loss or inconvenience by the vacation, no private rights will be injured or endangered, and based on the reasons as listed in the staff report and as heard at this public hearing.
Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Will staff call the roll?
Macklin,
Approved?
Buchanan,
Yes.
Jorns,
Yes.
French.
Yes. Thank you. Mark will be in touch with you about the date that it goes to the county commission.
I'll send you the copies probably tomorrow.
Okay.
The building permit.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in and
Yes.
participating in the process.
Nice meeting you.
Okay. Now we will formally open the hearing regarding case number 2020-11, Brent Marker, William Jr., Rebecca White, Kyle and Megan Schwartz, and Jamie and Gordon Standage. Legal description, the 20-foot wide sidewalk easement located between lots 5 and 6, Block 2, and lots 13 and 14, Block 1 of Random Acres subdivision. Do any planning commission members have a conflict of interest in this case,
No,
or any outside contacts?
no.
Okay, would the applicant please step forward, state your name and address for the record, and tell us about your request?
My name is Brent Marker. Address is 601 Augustine Street. Good afternoon, by the way. Well, this sidewalk, when I started the project of wanting the garage put in, then, I found out there's a sidewalk easement, and I was shocked because starts nowhere and ends nowhere. So it actually starts from a pasture and ends in the middle of a street. We don't have any sidewalks anywhere around our whole area. And so basically this whole idea is, I'd like to get to my property feedback, and my neighbors are, I talked with 3 others, and they all agreed that they were, wanted to go along with it, and they liked the idea also. So, like I said, I'm wanting to build a garage, or we are wanting to build a garage, and so, if we need that extra 2 feet, then I'd like to be able to get it, so.
Any questions for the applicant?
You have anything you want to add?
I guess, same type of question. How long has that sidewalk easement been there, to your knowledge?
I think late 60s, if I remember right.
59 according to.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah.
I was off by 10 years. It's, well, before I was born, so.
Oh, okay.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you. We'll have staff report.
All right, thank you.
As Mr. Buchanan said, this was platted in 1959, and the owners of the platted a 20-foot sidewalk easement down the middle of this subdivision, but then never constructed that sidewalk easement. You actually have 4 applicants with this request, and Mr. Marker is representing the rest of the applicants with this. You'll see on your site plan that sidewalk easement actually continues to the east. Unfortunately, those applicants did not sign the petition, so we can't consider that easement vacation. And so if it ever becomes an issue, they'll have to petition to do that separately. But like I said, you got four applicants with this. It's a 20-foot sidewalk easement, and the reason this is coming before you is, as Mr. Marker said, he would like to construct a garage on there, and believe it or not, the 2 additional feet that he would gain of his property back is enough to go through this process to actually vacate that sidewalk easement here. Setbacks for properties that are zoned as such out here is 8 foot, and so he's gonna be gaining 10 foot, of his property back, but the setback is 8, so that 2 additional foot makes a big difference in the type of garage that he would like to build out there. So this subdivision, if you don't know, is located just off of 4th Avenue, a few miles east of town here in Hutchinson, and so it kind of gives you an idea as to where it is, but no idea why a sidewalk easement was platted in a subdivision, in the 1950s here, but unfortunately it is as platted that way, and so we have to honor that easement until such time as it is vacated. As discussed in the previous case, 3 things you must consider is proper notice was provided to the public. Public will not suffer any loss or inconvenience by the vacation, and then no private rights will be injured or endangered here. We did send notices to AT&T, Evergy, Kansas Gas, Ideatech, because we know that they're adding a lot of fiber optic out in that area. We also sent notice to Cox Communications and also the township, and we did not hear any response from any of those people. And so with that, we assume that there's nothing in there right now, and there won't be anything in there in the future in that sidewalk easement. They should be putting their utilities in the actual utilities easement instead of a sidewalk easement, But just to cover ourselves and make sure there wasn't anything in there, we did send notices to them, did not receive a response back. So with that, staff recommends approval of the request.
Any questions for staff?
There are no other sidewalks in this area, there's nothing shown on the plot map.
No other sidewalks, no other sidewalks in there.
Everybody walks on the muddy ground.
Everybody walks on the muddy ground, yep. Use your words, yeah.
Or the dusty ground?
Or the dusty.
As it is right now.
Yeah.
Mr. Marker's gonna have more mowing to do if we, or maybe he's mowing it already.
I'm already mowing it anyway, so no extra work for me.
Mr. Britton, you have no comments about this either? There's no chance that that will ever be used for any tour, any type of a utility access of any sort?
I have nothing.
No power or water lines will ever go in there?
It's not designated for utilities, so they shouldn't have anything in there, but we need to make sure that there isn't anything in there, because you just never know. But unlike the other subdivision that was on public sewer and well water, these lots are on septic system and well, and so Mr. Marker's been working with me and the health department, you know, to locate this garage out there and also maintain the septic system and the well, make sure that we're all good on that. And so we've been doing this for quite some time now.
So to illustrate how old this is, the plat at the bottom identifies the center line of US 50.
Yeah,
Correct.
That was on
A few years, yeah.
Fourth Avenue, right?
right.
Fourth Avenue, that's correct, yep.
At that stage, I think it was both US 50 and 96. They run together until you got out there, I think a mile east of Kent Road. And then 50 went on to Burton and 96 went to Haven. Long time ago.
Yep. Any further questions for staff? Okay, thank you. Any further comments from either of you? Any last questions before I close the hearing? Or was thinking,
No.
okay.
I'm reminiscing of it. That's where I grew
About
up,
the highway.
a long time ago.
My aunt and uncle had a motel on Highway 50 on East
Is that right?
4th, and so we were out there. Yeah. Anything further, Kim, before I close the hearing? No? Okay. Okay, we'll close the hearing. I'd entertain a motion for approval.
Madam Chairman, I would move that case number 202011, request by Brent Marker, William Jr. and Rebecca White, Kyle and Megan Schwartz, and Jamie and Gordon Standage, requesting the 20-foot sidewalk easement located between lots 5 and 6, block 2, and lots 3 and 4, block 1 of Random Acres subdivision be vacated as described in this petition, finding that proper notice has been given and that public will suffer no loss or inconvenience by the vacation. No private rights also will be injured or endangered. On the basis of listed on the staff report, I move that we approve this request.
Is there a second?
Second.
The motion is second.
I might note that again, you said lots 3 and 4, and it's lots 13 and 14.
Yeah.
Did I speak incorrectly?
Yes, you did. Well,
It's corrected.
Yeah, I caught it, yeah.
Okay. Call the roll.
Macklin,
Approved?
Buchanan,
yes.
Jorns,
Yes.
and French.
Yes. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you
Going
very
through the
much.
process.
Thank you, guys.
And Mark will be in touch with you.
I'll be in touch with you.
Thank you.
Thank you, appreciate your help.
You
Thank
can
you.
mow and
Thanks for
it's
coming.
your own weed.
Thank you for your time.
Got your water
We've
bottle
got
there?
a bottle here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other business?
I don't have any other business today for the commission.
Anybody else have anything?
And to clarify, my home where I grew up, I believe was just about exactly 1 mile south of that area there. And there were no lots plotted left the area in 1950 and moved to Hutchinson. But lived there from 38 to 1950. And the backside of that was the old Ark Valley interurban railroad that ran on the south side of that property there. What we know is the AVI. And it was vacated during the war to get the steel out of the rails.
That area has changed a lot over the years.
Yeah.
Well, if there's no other business, I'd entertain a motion for adjournment.
I'll move. Second.
Got a motion, a second, all in favor say aye.
All right.
All right.
Okay, motion, meeting is adjourned.